It is a cold and windy November night. Ben, a 48-year-old man, is standing in front of a small house with a fireplace. The windows are dark. The door is padlocked. A sign on the lawn says, "For sale, foreclosed property." Ben is holding a rolled-up sleeping bag. The house is bathed in moonlight. Ben starts to walk up to the door, then stops. No, it's better not to remember. Ben turns around and walks to a bus stop. A bus pulls up and he gets on. "Hey Ben, how you holding up?" "I'm okay, Jim, I guess. Hanging in there. So sorry to hear about Janie." "Thanks. Well, she's in a better place now." "Yeah." "Union says we might be hiring early next year. Get your job back." "Hope so." "Don't you live up here?" "Yeah, I'm just heading down to Tenleytown to visit some friends." "Be careful. That neighborhood is not safe at night." "I know that neighborhood well." The bus enters Tenleytown. It is dark and run down. The bus stops and Ben gets off. "Well, good luck, Ben." "Thanks." Ben begins walking down 3rd Street, past vacant buildings with broken windows, trash piled up, and abandoned cars in the street. He passes his old school, boarded up, where he was bullied for his ragged clothes. He walks up to his old apartment building, remembering growing up hungry and lonely. An overwhelming feeling of sadness and fear washes over him. He stops, turns around, and spots a liquor store. He goes inside and comes out with a bottle of whiskey in a paper bag. Ben looks down 3rd Street, hesitating. He sees an all-night diner in the distance and heads for it. He enters the diner and sits on a stool at the counter. A waitress smiles at him. "Cold night." "Sure is. What can I get you?" "Just a cup of coffee if you don't mind." "Coming right up." The waitress eyes the bag with Ben's whiskey and his sleeping bag. "How about some soup? Warm you up?" "No thanks." "Let's see. Just about one bowl left. Chicken noodle. Homemade. Just have to throw it out." "Well, okay. Here you go." "Thank you." "You're doing me a favor. I don't like to waste good food. I'm Sally. Been working here at Moonlight Diner for 7 years. I'm Ben." "Nice to meet you, Ben. You from around here?" "I live up in Rileytown." "That's a nice area." "Yeah, real nice. I grew up down here, though, down on 3rd Street. "Oh, that's all run down now. Was run down when I was a kid. This part of town never really had a chance. Where do you work?" "I'm a city bus driver." "That's a good job. You get a city pension." "Sure do. They cut a lot of routes. I heard they laid off quite a few drivers." "Yeah, but I'm one of the lucky ones. Still got my job." "Well, good for you. You married, Ben?" 12 years. "That's nice. Good to see you're keeping your head above water. A lot of folks around here are hurting right now." "I know. I'm doing good now, but I remember how it was growing up down here. Had a rough childhood. Became an alcoholic, just drank all day to escape. But drinking made my life worse. Then I met my wife. She inspired me to clean up. Went to rehab, got married, got a good job driving a bus. We saved up and bought a little house." "There you go. You prove it can be done." "Yeah, but a lot of people can't do it, Sally. They never make it out of here. Or they lose everything they ever worked for and end up back here." "Yes, that's sad. They don't know how they're going to make it through the hard times. They're scared. Well, they should just think about the good times." "It's too painful to think about the good times. It's better just to forget." "Oh no, you can't forget. I've had plenty of troubles, sickness, unemployment, death in the family, but I never forgot the good times. They pulled me through. It's hard to even remember the good times when everything goes dark. Well, when darkness comes over you, you just light a candle. A candle's glow will drive away the darkness." "Maybe. It's something to think about, Ben." "Yeah. Well, I better get going. Thanks for the soup, Sally. What do I owe you?" "Nothing at all, Ben. You just take care of yourself." "Thank you, Sally. I appreciate it." "All right. And you come back soon. Will do. Ben picks up his bags and leaves. Ben walks down 3rd Street into a parking lot filled with garbage and abandoned cars. He spreads his sleeping bag out in the back seat of a car. A passing cloud blocks the moonlight. Darkness settles over him, and he begins to shiver. He gathers some wood and lights a fire. I'm trapped. I can't get out this time. He looks around at the decaying neighborhood and panics. He looks at his wedding ring. I got out of here. Made such a good life, but it's all gone now. He takes off his wedding ring and puts it on the ground. I'm back here again, and this time there's no way out. I can't go through this again. He pulls the whiskey out of the bag and opens it. His eyes well up with tears. Might as well drink myself to death. As he raises the bottle to his lips, the fire flares up, and his wedding ring glows in the firelight. He picks it up, turning it in his hand. He remembers on cold nights like this, he'd build a fire. He and Janie would sit on the couch, his arms around her. The cold wind would rattle the windows while the fire glowed inside and bathed them in warmth. Ben puts the whiskey down and puts his wedding ring back on his finger. A surge of happiness washes over him, and he stops shivering. He climbs into the sleeping bag and falls into a deep sleep.